And it's really important to make sure that you do create a written race plan. Okay? As part of that, it's important to have a look at the actual course that you're going to be doing. So we're up to maybe like a 3.5 at the moment. Still very much easy running. So have a look at the course. You really need to know what you're dealing with and what you need to prepare for. You can use Strava to map it and then look at particular segments just initially to get a sense of what the course is like, to get a feel for it. Is it hilly? Is it flat? You know, is it in a city? Is it out in lots of sections in a country or in a park? Whatever. You know, just the basic detail to begin with. But then you must train for that course and prepare yourself for the particular challenge. And each course provides different challenges. You know, the surface might be rubbish. You might be in amongst buildings, so there's not much wind flow, not much cooling on a hot day. Alternatively, it can be quite exposed and you're subject to the wind a lot, you know? There's all kinds of important details you can pull out just from the initial look. And yeah, you have to prepare for that course, and that's one of the reasons why sort of off the peg training plans and even AI training plans can be so limited, because you know, I've worked with a few platforms now and none of them have, you know, provided sessions that work on the peculiarities of a particular course. They don't often do much skills work or even hill work. You know, I've not actually worked with a training platform yet that sets specific hill sets because they can't quantify it. You know, they don't know what the hill you're going to use is, so they can't. And when you'll find with AI plans at the moment, like they're severely limited in that way. But one thing is for sure, whatever the race, whatever the course, you'll need to do plenty of strength work. Just lift the effort a touch more. You need to do plenty of strength work to maintain muscular balance. Because usually runners, one thing you may not know, is runners usually have one quad much bigger than the other, one thigh much bigger than the other, because we're asymmetrical beings. So, you know, one side lands heavier than the other, etc. So, yeah, we often have quite big muscular imbalances of runners, and so strength training is a really important way of addressing that. It's also important for improving mobility, and for us in particular, building hip stability. Talked about that previously. You'll need to do some speed work, regardless of what the course is. Some threshold training like we're doing today. Unfortunately, how much just depends on the distance and type of race. And finally, doesn't really matter what the event is, flat or hilly, but always encourage plenty of hill work, because it builds strength, it builds that leg drive. Okay? There's a couple of little things you need to think about when you are kind of putting your race plan together. When you signed up, you're looking at the course, and you're thinking about what you're going to need to do. So that's kind of far in advance. Then when you kind of get towards the race, as we just go up to 4 out of 10 for the final 3 minutes. When you get towards your race, I say couple of months out, you really want to create a race plan. Okay, what you're going to do on the day. You want to note down all your important admin, when you're going to register, etc. Have a kit list to reduce the risk of forgetting stuff. And then look at the course again. Break it into sectors and make notes on it. Note what the weather will be like. You can use something like my windsock. Get an idea of what the wind will be like, which is important because mentally, if you see your speed drop and it's into a section that you know was going to be probably a headwind, and maybe quite a strong one, it'll keep your morale up. As people are sort of going past you, you can be confident that they are destroying themselves, going to the red and working too hard. Okay, so you can kind of just keep yourself disciplined and steady. When you put your race plan together, you pick out any hills that's replicate them in training. You can build in pre-race and in-race nutrition hydration plans. You can note where all the aid stations are. You do this not just for your big goal race, your A race, but for any build-up races as well, because it's practice. You know, you can figure out kind of what extra stuff you need to think about next time, what works for you, and any extra information you need. Now, it might seem a bit nerdy, but doing this race plan and actually writing it down might seem a bit nerdy, but think about all the other work, all the training, all the hard work you're doing. Gee, an hour or two just writing out a race plan, it's nothing, but it can be so useful. So yeah, really recommend having a look at the course well in advance, and then closer to your races, put together a detailed race plan. It will really help with any anxiety. I promise you, you'll feel in control.